Hello world, Shelly here, and today I'm going to tell you about something that has been keeping me busy through this part of our lockdown pandemic sort of time. I stay home a lot, and this is what I've been up to. So I have been working on the Master Makeup Artist course from the Online Makeup Academy, and I am going to give you my review of the program here today, take you through my experience with it so far. I have not fully completed it yet. I'll take you through what you get in your makeup artist kit. I will share with you the discount that the Online Makeup Academy has provided for my subscribers, and let's kick this off. This is not a sponsored video. There is no money changing hands. I am not being paid to do this. I was provided access to the course by OMA. That's what I'm going to call them from now on, the Online Makeup Academy, for purposes of reviewing this for you. Let me give you a little bit of my background coming into this if you aren't familiar with me. So, I'm not a makeup artist. I am just a random person, and everything I know about makeup I learned on YouTube. And I am, however, a teacher. I have been teaching for 20 years, including online for a whole lot of that time. So I do have perspective to critique the delivery of online course materials and online education. So I'm going to combine a little bit of that into this review. And I'm personally doing this for my own enrichment, my own wanting to be better at applying makeup. I'm not planning to change careers, but I can't lie, I do like the idea of having a backup skill to fall back on if in fact I needed something like that. So the program here, they have several different options, and I'll get into the details of them, but I want to point out the difference between a certification, like a makeup artist certification, which is what you would be completing through the OMA program, versus licensure. And if you do plan to approach this as a career option, why that difference is important. So there are some states that require a license where you have passed an exam of some kind administered by the state in order to practice makeup artistry. Most states don't require that. The certification that you receive from OMA is basically validating that you have completed their curriculum and their set of recommendations for makeup artistry specifically. This is different from cosmetology, which is a bigger umbrella that includes more hair and skin and other elements of performance of tasks beyond just makeup application. And this is different from an esthetician. It's specifically for makeup application. So Virginia, for example, does not require licensure in order to be a makeup artist. They do require licensure for cosmetology and for estheticians, but they do not require it for makeup artists. So a certification, which the OMA certificate is an accredited program, you can, in my state, practice professional makeup artistry with this certificate. A lot of states are set up that way. Some states do have licensure, actually very few do. A few do, and some states have a combination of requirements. You really just have to check what your state requires if you want to do this professionally. I will leave a link down below to the OMA master list of all the states and links to each state's different requirements so you can see what your state requires. Of course, this is US I'm talking about. I'm not familiar with the international laws, but in the US, that is an important distinction if you plan to practice makeup artistry professionally. Some states have an exemption for where they require some form of licensure unless you're doing it for the purpose of selling makeup. So that would be, working at Sephora, for example, to apply makeup. All states have something different. So check your state if you want to do this professionally. This program is geared toward people that want to apply makeup as professional makeup artists. However, You can take this course if you are just a hobbyist or learning for personal purposes. You will be graded the same way. Your work is critiqued as if you are attempting to be a professional. But if you want to complete the entire course doing the makeup on yourself, you can do that, and it is entirely fine. It's acceptable. The program will work with you however it works best. I am in a high-risk COVID household, so I cannot risk bringing people into my house to do makeup, and I avoid going out into... I avoid people. So I cannot bring people in to do their makeup at this time in my life. So I've been doing this course as doing the makeup on myself and doing it from a personal perspective. So let's talk about what they offer. They've got the Master Makeup Artist program, and that is kind of your basics. COVID-19 sanitation training, bridal makeup, airbrush, smoky eye, skincare routines, you know, the basic core of applying makeup. And the next option you've got is the advanced makeup course. It's high fashion, editorial, period makeup, you know, time period makeup, creative makeup, and a workshop on building your portfolio and the business of being a makeup artist. Then they've got a program that's called the Elite Career Path, and that is basically both of those courses plus a professional makeup kit. And I'm going to go through everything that's in the kit at the end of this video. They also do special effects courses. They've got some hair courses. So there are other options, but specifically what I am looking at is the Master Makeup Artist program. And the way this works is you can either buy the individual programs or you can buy the bundle package. So for the Master Makeup Artist program, it is $799 or $219 split across 4 payments, and that's the core basics. The Advanced Makeup Artist program is $750 or $206 over 4 months. And if you want the whole enchilada, which includes the professional makeup kit, the Elite Career Path is $14.99 or $412 over 4 months, but it includes a $700 makeup kit that you would use as your makeup artist kit. So they have options, and for subscribers, I will put a code down below. You can use this coupon code for $100 off your tuition if you opt for the Elite Career Path, which is the program that I'm looking at. So other benefits that you get with this program: the program is completely online, and you can complete it completely from home. It's not time-based, so you can enroll at any time. It's rolling enrollments, rolling starts, and you're not tied to any cohort. So you can complete it at your own pace. You can complete it as quickly or as slowly as you want. All of the materials are video-based, and you can watch them as many times as you want. And your support from your mentors does not end when the course ends. When you complete the course, you still have access to your mentor team to get help afterwards and help with your career, guidance, etc. It is a full, complete mentorship program. The other benefit you get is a pro card that will get you 40% off lots of major makeup brands, and the list of brands they've provided to me. 40% off from Partners Friends Beauty and Nigel Beauty on brands like Makeup Forever, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Miron, Beauty Blender, NYX, Inglot, Temptu, and more. Lots of brands on that pro card. And the curriculum is all-encompassing. So they cover base matching, color correction, skin, face shapes, eye shapes, high fashion, editorial, creative, period time makeup, culminating in your professional portfolio, and information on business branding, marketing. It is a complete curriculum. So that's kind of the overview of what you get, what the program entails. Let's dig in to my experience with this program. So I am almost done with the initial makeup artist course, and I think I have 2 assignments left to complete. So here's how it works. You have access to all of the training videos and the downloadable worksheets and things that you can access for as long as you want. You can watch them as many times as you want. You can practice as much as you want. You're also assigned a professional makeup artist mentor. So all of the curriculum is presented in these videos by professional makeup artists, and the mentor that is going to be critiquing your work and guiding you through the process is also a professional makeup artist. So the way the program works, you work through the video content that they have provided. You practice the techniques that they are showing, and when you feel like you are ready to submit your work, you photograph your work and submit it for critique. And you'll take a before photo, an after photo, and a photo with your eyes closed. You submit those photos, and then your makeup artist will reply with a video critique of your work. And let's just talk about the critiques of your work. I'm an amateur, and that has never been more clear than it is to me now. The critiques they're awesome, really. It is so really cool if you want to learn to just have a professional looking at what you've done and explaining what you do well, what you don't do so well, and giving you tips on how to improve your techniques. And you can submit your work as many times as you need to. And I have had to submit everything at least twice. And the tips you get are concrete. You're getting video feedback where someone is actually speaking to you. It's almost one-on-one, and they've incorporated Zoom options as well, that you really do have an instructor teaching you. It's very well done. Let's go through some of my general impressions of the course itself. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through the main makeup artist course, and I'm very impressed with how much time they spent in the first 2 modules. About 4 hours of training was spent on not even touching makeup yet. And we're talking color theory, foundation matching, undertones, like all of those things that you really need to understand in order to execute makeup properly. They had a whole section on face shapes and contouring and highlighting and where to draw dimension on different face shapes. They did the same kind of thing with eye shapes and talked about all the major issues. I feel like I am a really good candidate for all of the examples of difficult makeup. Because I've got the hooded lids and the droopy crease and all the good stuff that they talk about, and they walk you through. Some of the makeup artists are drawing on a whiteboard and giving you examples of placement of things. Some of them are talking you through a live demonstration where they've got a person in front of them and they're showing you on that person how these things take effect. So there were over 4 hours of content just on the theory behind how you approach this. Some people are going to think, oh, that's so boring. Well, if you want to be a professional, that is what grounds you. I was so impressed by that. They also spend a lot of time talking about sanitation, how to do this hygienically, and it is specifically updated for COVID times, for pandemic times. So it's clearly been very recently filmed, these segments of the COVID sanitation. So the content is completely up to date. The safety precautions, the only thing I would say about the way they present that information, so they've got some videos that went through the sanitation prior to COVID, because their online makeup academy program existed before COVID. And they also have a brick and mortar school in New York, the flagship location. But when COVID happened, when the pandemic started, they updated their materials to reflect the changes in practices for COVID. And in a couple of minor instances, the previous video was talking about standard, hygiene and sanitation. So for example, one makeup artist was giving her lesson and she was saying, she would not recommend wearing gloves because, someone's going to think you have a disease, and why is someone with a disease touching me? And you could tell it was filmed before the pandemic. And the very next video was a more elaborate demonstration of some of the sanitation, clearly filmed after the pandemic began. And it clearly laid out the steps for when it's appropriate to wear gloves and when you would take them off and how you would do that safely, etc. So there were a couple little mismatches like that. Here's the thing with teaching online. You can't recreate all your course materials every semester. It's just impossible. And so you do reuse course materials and you update things as you go. And that's the unfortunate thing when you can't predict that a global pandemic is going to break out. Maybe you said something in a previous video that doesn't pan out as well once there's a pandemic. So I don't fault them for not completely recreating the previous videos. I'm glad that they've got the updated information. I do wish there could be something like maybe a text overlay that comes up on the screen that says, please see updated COVID information in the next video or something like that, so that I don't commit something to memory incorrectly if I happen to not catch the fact that it's corrected in the next video. That's the only time that something like that happened in the video series, but I just think it's important to make sure that people know which piece of information is the correct current piece of information. The only other criticism I have of the materials is because it's being filmed in New York and they have a downtown location in the actual school, occasionally you will hear sirens and New York street noise in the video. And it's very minor, but it's noticeable if you're not used to hearing city noise. Now that I live in the woods, I'm not used to it at all. But otherwise, let's talk about some of the things that I really enjoy about the program. The way the materials are presented, the demonstrations are so detailed, thorough, well thought out, and very applicable to the logistic reality of using this stuff. They kicked off the program with a lot of theory, but then all of the demonstrations are so rooted in the practical, hands-on, how you would actually do this out in the world, that you really do get the best of both worlds. You get all of the information you need to both understand why you're doing something and then actually do it successfully. The other thing probably the most impressive thing to me, is in the feedback that you get from the makeup artist that is assigned to you as your mentor. Not only is the responses they provide are fast. Most of my work I submit after midnight because I work at night, I do these things. My work on this is done at nighttime. And I'm a night owl, so I'm up really late. And one time I submitted my work after midnight, went to bed, woke up 9:30 in the morning. I already had my video feedback waiting for me in my inbox. I don't know if that's normal, but man, it was fantastic. They get back to you very, very quickly. And the personalized video, it's a link just for you. It is specifically talking to you by name, filmed right then and there, immediately prior to when you are watching it. And they go into exceptional detail about your work. They will talk about the colors you used or the matching you used or how your blending was on one eye versus the other. They pointed out my wonky eyebrow that doesn't match and that I never ever can get to look the same. They are not messing around. They are analyzing your work. But they're also giving you feedback. When you're doing something right, they'll tell you, I'm pretty good at blending, you guys. And I'm very excited about that because I work really hard on it. So it's a really constructive criticism. When they give you a criticism, they accompany it with the tips and techniques for how they recommend you improve whatever they're criticizing. So it's that also from an academic perspective, it's a great way to give criticism. It's a very sort of applied skills approach to constructive criticism. And that's helpful. The other thing I really like is that there's a lot of repetition. And, one of the things I say to my students at work, I will say, those of you that pay close attention will think I repeat myself all the time. But the reality is that most of you are only going to hear me say something once or twice if I say it 5 times. So, and that's the approach that these instructors are taking. And I appreciate that, because the more times you hear something and the more contexts in which you experience that information, the easier it is to commit that information to memory. And it'll stick better instead of, just covering it once and then you're expected to remember it down the road. So things that they talk about in color theory then came up again when they're demonstrating contouring and choosing colors for contour and highlight, which then come up again when they're actually demonstrating the application techniques of contour and highlight. So it's this layered repetition that helps with learning. It just really helps you learn how to apply these theories and these concepts. They do an excellent job on their tips and tricks for color matching foundation. And I feel like that is one of the most important things for them to focus on, and I'm glad they do, because it's one of the hardest things to do. Even just dealing with one person's skin complexion, my own, it's a hard thing to do. So imagine if you have to match any person's skin complexion. They really go into detail on undertones, matching. They demonstrate the techniques for applying different shades and looking at them and telling you, what are you looking for in the match? What does a match even look like? And then they show you what it looks like. And I really like that they do that, because it's one of the hardest things to master. They also do demonstrations on a variety of skin tones. They've got a fair, a light, and a deep model, and in different videos, depending what section you're on, you are watching application and instruction happen with a variety of models of subjects that they are doing the makeup on. Again, they've got massive attention to hygiene and sanitation. I just finished working through the bridal section, and one thing that impressed me is just how many practical tips were included in the delivery of that content. So they're talking about applying the makeup, but they also talk you through, you're going to want to sit down with your bride and meet with them prior to even committing to a contract to work with them. And maybe have your bride put together a mood board so that you are on the same page in terms of the aesthetics of what they're looking for, and whether they want to bring their own lipstick and touch up through the day, or whether you are physically going to be there throughout the day to touch up their makeup. Like, the logistics of going through that process of working with a bride, it's so helpful to just have that big picture. They also provide extra bonus materials. For example, they have a sample contract, like a bridal contract that you would sign with your bride if you choose to do her makeup. So it's very practical, and I like that. I think that's what you need, especially in a situation where you're learning this online and you're not physically attending a place where they can take you to, a wedding and walk you through or anything like that. If I had to give a grade to the Online Makeup Academy, I would give them a solid A. I think their approach to the delivery of content is fantastic. I think the content itself is fantastic. I think it's a pedagogically sound, the teacher terms, sorry. Their curriculum development and their delivery of content is done in such a way that it does facilitate solid learning opportunities. The practicality of it is hugely applicable to using this information in real life. They're very flexible about how you choose to interact with this program, whether you're going to do it as yourself, as an individual, if you're just a hobbyist, if you want to be a professional. They cover all the bases. They will work with you with whatever you want this to be in your life, and I'm hugely impressed. The minor critiques I have are, they're minor. There's some noise in a couple of the videos. It doesn't distract you from being able to hear the content, but it's there. Really, that's about it. They've done a really, really good job with this stuff. So that's my opinion of the program, and I will let you guys know if they pass me. I have a couple left to go. I've survived it all so far. But it's tough, you guys. It is not easy. Let's get into what you get in the Professional Makeup Artist Kit. This kit is a retail value of $700. So if you choose to get the Elite Career Path package for $14.99, $700 of that is the value of this kit right here. And you can actually purchase the kit separately from them for $700 if you want to. But if you get the Elite Career Path package, it includes the makeup kit, which gives you both courses plus the makeup kit. So it's almost like buy 2 courses, get the makeup kit for free. So let's talk through some of what comes in here. I'm not going to go through every single item because this kit is huge, but I want to go through some of the standout products because they're not messing around. You're getting professional makeup here. So the first thing you get, let's talk complexion to kick this off. You get 4 different shades of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and wouldn't you know, I've got a 5th shade in my bin that I actually have to do a review on for you guys. That's my shade. So you get 4 different shades, and one of the things that they do throughout this program is teach you how to mix colors and to get a perfect match for whatever skin tone you are working with. So they give you 4 shades that will enable you to make any color you need to make. You also get 3 shades of the Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. Again, a light, medium, and deep so that you can mix them to make whatever shade you need. You get, let's see here, let's talk complexion. Makeup Forever's Pro Bronze Fusion Bronzer. They've also got the Inglot Translucent Setting Powder. This is a brand I've wanted to try for so long, you guys. I'm so excited that they are in my kit now. You also get, this is like holy grail, like infamous level stuff. The Inglot Gel Liner and the Inglot Liner Brush. Like, this is the stuff the dreams are made of. The Inglot Mascara. We have, nope, it's Inglot Lip Gloss, Makeup Forever Mascara. We do have the Inglot Duraline Makeup Mixing Medium for mixing products. You get an Inglot. This is a nude lipstick, and oh, we have a few other complexion things. So the Online Makeup Academy does have their own private label, and you get several palettes in their private label. And this is, all of their private label stuff is vegan and cruelty-free. So there is a Proline Contour Blush Highlight Palette. It's one of those like mega palettes that has all the shades for all the people. And then you also get a blush palette and another shades of the Contour Blush Highlight. I'll just show you the differences. This is the lighter version. And now one thing, the eyeshadow palettes that I got in my kit are not the same as the ones they typically put in their kit. At the part of the pandemic that I started this course, we were like hot in the middle of all the shipping problems and all of the sourcing problems of products from everywhere. So I don't have the same eyeshadow palettes that they typically provide in the kit. So I've got the iMagic Pro is one of the palettes, and there are a couple others, but I've got them buried underneath a bunch of stuff. So, but they're not the typical palettes anyway. If you go on their website, they do show you what the typical palettes are, the ones they use in the videos. You also get a professional brush roll with all of your brushes. Dun, 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 dun. It's a mega monster. And iMagic color correcting. We have the Makeup Forever brow kit. They've got some special effects, glitters, and things like that. There's a little selfie ring light included. You get some lashes, the Inglot makeup fixing spray. I think that is a majority of what you get. Your palettes and your mixer. Oh, Makeup Forever. I love this primer. I've already got this one in my personal kit. The hydrating primer, Makeup Forever hydrating primer. They also in the video recommend a Stila primer, and I purchased it in the Sephora sale because it actually looked really good and I am enjoying it. It is the Stila One Step Correct primer, and it does a good job at correcting redness, and the peach kind of corrects under eye circles. So when I put it on my hand, I just kind of pick the parts that I want and apply them as I want them, and then I just mix the rest together all over my face. So I'm liking that recommendation as well. So that is pretty much the kit. That is pretty much the Online Makeup Academy experience. I will keep you guys posted as I wrap this thing up and finish it. Like I said, I'm almost done with the initial course. Then I will have to complete the advanced makeup artist course. But the initial course is your skin prep, your basics of sanitation and hygiene, and all of the basics of application and eye shapes and face shapes and foundation matching, and natural no makeup and bridal makeup and dark smoky eye makeup. That's all part of the first course. So I'm almost done with that. I will keep you guys posted. Believe me, I will celebrate when I'm certified. There you have it. That's the Online Makeup Academy. Here's the code, $100 off if you guys are interested in taking the Elite course and getting yourself a good pro makeup kit and learning some good stuff on professional makeup application. If you have any questions about the program or anything that I can help you with, let me know down in the comments down below. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for new videos. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.